Alright. Here I am finally. I don't know why this one's so hard for me. Probably because I'm gonna get a little more in depth with it. And now that I recall more, it was probably around Easter time that this did happen. It was spring. So the risen Christ came to me. And when I say that, I mean there's a completely supernatural experience. The risen Christ. Anybody that's happened to will know exactly what I mean. I had a complicated relationship with Jesus and religion and God. I knew there was a higher power, but that was all. I mean, my whole life was believing, knowing there's a God, just written on my heart. But I had lost 3 people very dear to me. The first one being my dad, and that was when Christ first came to me in my dream. It felt real, very vivid dream. And I told that story a few times. That's not what this is about. So I had conversations with him over the years, lost a second person, grieved over that, grieved over the loss of my life, and started using. I was at a friend's house. I was homeless at the time. At a friend's house, sleeping on his couch or floor, bed, or wherever we were partying. Then I lost the third person dear to me. And I remember standing in my friend's bathroom and going to drop to my knees and say, as I was saying, I don't believe it. There's no God. If this doesn't make any sense. It's just no rhyme or reason for this. It doesn't make logical sense to take this person's life. Why am I still alive? I keep, somehow surviving death. This is like 3 years into my huge ordeal where I was, running. Laying on my friend's floor at the end of the night. It was probably about 3 a.m. when I laid down with my solfeggio frequencies in my ear. Just crying, feeling all kinds of, I'm so ADHD. Rewind. I'm not going to start over. This is the third cut. I'm going to rewind. I'm in the bathroom and I'm saying I don't believe there's a God. There's no reason for this. This doesn't make sense. My logical mind won't accept it. Go to drop to my knees and just complete giving up. Just giving up completely and just take my life, please. And I felt something strong hold me up. Didn't let me drop to my knees that time. It said, now stop. You don't believe that. You know you don't believe that. She said it. So what ensued after that was a large download is the best word I can use for it. I was lost in all these memories coming back to me from ancient times, and Father and Mother God were speaking to me, and the ancestors, my ancestors were coming to me and telling me their stories, my story, my soul. And I thought, that's it. This is it. I'm losing it. I'm like going into schizophrenia like my uncle. And I'm losing my mind. And so I'm laying on the floor in a pile of pillows with the solfeggio frequencies in my ear, just trying to disappear something. And my phone was on the charger across the room, trying to fall asleep. And I hear my head look at the security camera. Why am I looking at the security camera? So I look at the security camera, and it's the point of the day exactly where the camera turns from dark to light because the sun starts to come up. And so I get back into my comfortable position, which I was just like this, so my head was all the way back, and I was just completely like taking in everything. I felt all of the negative emotions, but on top of it, so much love that was showering me and telling me, there's a plan. And all of a sudden, a bright light from the sun, a sun ray, came in through the window in the silhouette of a man. And I closed my eyes and I'm tripping, and my music changed from the solfeggio frequencies, which I'll tell you, it was like an 8-hour long track, and I had only been laying there for like 2 or 3 hours. And there's no ads in them or anything. It was this beautiful song with wind chimes. The name of it is Jacob Lee Conscience. The words are very important. It just started playing, and I had never even searched Christian music. I told you I have a complicated relationship with religion at that time. It's not complicated anymore. It's very simple now. So the music changes at the same time as the wind chimes are playing in my ear, and I'm looking in this direction at the window where the shaft of light comes into my eyes, and it forms a silhouette of a man, and my eyes were just pouring tears, and I could see so clearly, like my vision is correcting itself now as I speak. I could see clearer than I ever remembered seeing in my life. I wore glasses since like 5th grade. This was 2020. And so he says, go outside to the horse stall. He had horse stalls in the back, covered. And I'm like, no, I'm freaked out right now. But I feel so much love and safety, and there's just like a silence and a peace and home. And so I go outside and I look around, and I can see like every detail of the trees. Like normally to me everything's blurry and colorful, and I see energies, and but when my vision is corrected, or when I'm wearing my glasses, it's vivid. And this is what I'm seeing, and he tells me to walk into the horse stall, where I find this. This is a coaster, but it was a perfect sand dollar, a real one, which I always loved growing up on the beach. And tells me to break it. I said, no, breaking this is precious to me. I've had them growing up, and I always found broken ones, and I was like, oh, I wish this was broken, and I didn't want to break it. I'm holding it to my heart, and I'm crying, and I'm saying, please just don't go, explain to me, what's, and the song is still playing in my ear, the Conscience song, and I'm listening to the words, and he says, break it. So I snapped it in half, and out falls 5 dove shapes, which I didn't know that sand dollars did that. So I was in like complete shock, awe, love. And he says, this is my promise to you. I have broken you into a million pieces. I've broken you into pieces you're broken. But I'm going to show you how to put yourself back together. And out of your broken pieces, I'm going to do something new. I am going to do something beautiful. And then he went away, and my vision went back to normal. And I went back to my pile of pillows, and I cried, and I listened to the song over and over, and every word of it resonated so hard with what he had just shown me, all in a moment. So at the moment that all of the dark night of the soul and the memories of past lives, the dark ones and the good ones, all of it was about to swallow me up, and he came and found me. The risen Christ. He is risen and he is alive. This was back in 2017. About 3 years before I got clean. I was following him the whole time. I never stopped following Christ. I might not. I'm a sinner. And still a sinner, even though I'm clean. We're all sinners in some way, shape, or form. I'm not perfect, and he promises me I'm not supposed to be perfect. None of us are. The broken is how the light gets in. And I love you all, and happy Easter.